I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to South Atlanta. I'm at Southview Cemetery, and I'm going to take you on a little tour. There's a few famous people buried here, and I've been to this cemetery twice before, and it's beautiful. It's so well maintained. There are people doing work all over with lawn care and things like that, which I love to see. Graves are beautifully tended to. The people that work here are lovely to speak to in the office, and help me out to find a few graves I'm looking for. I did notice a sign that said no, I can't find one now, but like no tents and no fences around graves, like to put stuff, and no rocks. So it actually said no rocks, which I've never seen before in a cemetery. I've got a car full of them right here. But to respect, of course, the cemetery's wishes, I'm not going to leave a rock. They seem to do a lot of maintenance by hand here, not just driving over, like really trimming and actual lawn mowers, and it's a huge cemetery, so that could be part of it. So I'm going to pay tribute to the people I see here, but I won't be leaving a rock. I wish I could, but I'm taking you along. And the first person we're going to visit is pretty incredible. It's a pretty incredible looking grave, and a pretty incredible story. Right there in the middle, Lewis. They walked where others had not gone. He's a U.S. Congressman, John Lewis, civil rights leader. Is this down here for Mr. Lewis and his wife as well. He served in Congress for 33 years, I believe. He was one of the Big Six who organized the 1963 March on Washington. He was also on the Selma Bridge. I've done a video about that before. That's on my channel. And this man is a hero. He's a member of the Democratic Party. He was first elected to Congress in 1986 and served for 17 terms. Due to his length of service, he became the dean of the Georgia congressional delegation. He served from 1991 as chief deputy whip and from 2003 as senior chief deputy whip. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That is one of the more incredible graves I've seen in my life. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. Ruth 1:16-17. And there he is. And his beautiful wife as well. I believe it's called the Edmund Pettus Bridge. From Selma to Montgomery that he walked across. There were 3 marches. He was in the first one. It became known as Bloody Sunday. That was 1965. In 2019, that's when he announced that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He was the last of the Big Six civil rights leaders, icons. There's a famous photograph of John Lewis hugging then President Obama. And it's a beautiful photograph because you can see that how emotional he is with everything that he done for civil rights, and to finally have a black president. I mean, I don't know if he ever thought he would see that in his lifetime, but he did. There's the front entrance up there. He's gonna come make a little left as soon as you come in, and he's right here, John Lewis. Okay, now we're gonna go back up to the top of the cemetery and visit a few other graves. I'm not sure if you're able to hear me. The gentleman there is hard at work, but I'm gonna read this. Southview Cemetery. It was founded in 1886 by formerly enslaved African Americans who objected to the conditions and the treatment they received at Atlanta's segregated burial grounds. Southview's landscape reflects the influence of 19th century funerary art and symbolism. A variety of gravestone materials, from elaborate marble monuments to simple concrete markers, memorialize African Americans of all social strata. Notable burials include Alonzo Herndon, the founder of the Atlanta Life Insurance Company, Reverend and Mrs. Martin Luther King Sr., religious and civil rights leaders, and Bishop Henry McNeil Turner, Reconstruction-era state legislator and African Methodist Episcopal Church organizer. Today, it has expanded from its original 25 acres to more than 100 acres and continues to serve the community as an active cemetery. And right here, when you come in, a bench by the road, this is in honor of Toni Morrison and placed by the Toni Morrison Society. Toni Morrison, celebrated author. So she's not buried here, but there's no place, this is what she wrote, a bench by the road. There's no place here where I can go to think about or not think about, to summon the presences of or recollect the absences of slaves. Nothing that reminds us of the ones who made the journey and of those who did not make it. There's no suitable memorial or plaque or wreath or wall or park or skyscraper lobby. There's no 300-foot tower. There's no small bench by the road. Toni Morrison, 1989. This was placed here on the 50th anniversary of Dr. King's death, April 7th, 2018. The Historic Southview Preservation Foundation. Toni Morrison, of course, she won the Pulitzer Prize for Beloved in 1988, 1987, around then. Sorry, it's so loud. And she also won the Nobel Prize for Literature. So right here, there's the entrance, there's the bench, and we're gonna make a right and go down here because down this way, there's so many notable people interred here. It's incredible, right in a row. So right on the side here, right facing the main road, Hank Aaron, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Beat Babe Ruth's record for home runs, and then Barry Bonds beat him eventually, but the legendary Hank Aaron. Henry Louis Hank, February 5th, 1934 to January 22nd, 2021. I am not concerned about how I am perceived as a baseball player. I am concerned about how I am thought of as a human being. And of course, there's baseballs left here. Beautiful flowers. I know that Hank Aaron grew up in Mobile, Alabama. He did not get to play organized high school baseball because only white students had teams. He was an activist for civil rights because of that. He was a victim of racial inequalities. He won the Presidential Medal of Honor as well in 2002. Right down here, we have the Reverend Martin Luther King Sr., Daddy King, and Alberta Williams, his wife. Sorry, it's a little loud, I know that. Died in 1984. She died 10 years earlier in 1974. Reads underneath, I love everyone. Still in business, just moved upstairs. That's giving me a little bit of a little laugh. That's really funny. That's still in business, just moved upstairs. I like that. And Alberta's reads, her life shall be filled with music. Okay, I was just looking up something about someone else who I'm looking for here. I should mention this was the original. I thought, now I was here 4 weeks ago, and it was just raining. It was just so hard to film, so I knew I'd be back. And for some reason, I had in my head that Martin Luther King Jr. had a different crypt because he was originally buried here, moved in 1970. His wife, Coretta, when she died, I believe in 2006, around then, she was buried somewhere else originally and then moved to be beside Martin Luther King where he is now. And I have a whole video about that on my channel. I'll put a link below. But I believe, so I thought it was a different crypt on the property, but it was this one. This is the one that Martin Luther King originally was in. He moved in, like I said, 1970. So the video you see of, or the film you see of the horse-drawn carriage drawn by mules was taken to, Martin Luther King was taken to this cemetery. And then 2006, his crypt at the King Center was rebuilt to accommodate Coretta, his wife. Now I have no idea why, but the data is not working on my phone right now out here. Because I had one or two more graves I want to visit. I'm going to visit this one right here. I think this is who I'm looking for. I knew he was right here. Yes, he is. I knew he was close to Martin Luther King Sr. William Guest, July 2nd, 1941 to December 24th, 2015. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. Now here are some other guests. All here. It's so hot out that my camera keeps stopping. So you might be asking yourself, well, who exactly is William Guest? William Guest was a Pip. He was a member of Gladys Knight and the Pips. He was one of the Pips, an original member. He's on record. He's on Every Beat of My Heart. I Heard It Through the Grapevine. Midnight Train to Georgia. If I Were Your Woman. I think it was 1989 when they split up. Decided to go their separate ways. And the Pips recorded one album without Gladys. He was the president of Crew Entertainment Company after he left the Pips. And he also recorded solo. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as Gladys Knight and the Pips in 1996, somewhere around 1996, I believe. Here's a biography out. I want to read it. What a fascinating life he must have had. But one of the Pips, right here, right there, and there's. Oh, I'm blocking my car. My rental is blocking the King grave and Hank Aaron. So that's my visit to Southview Cemetery, and sorry about the noise. It was a little chaotic. Excuse me, chaotic the first time I came here, and same with the rain and the storm that was happening that day. And now today, a little windy, nice out, but and it gets hot, then a little cool, hot, then a little cool, but then lots of people doing lawn work. And I could come back when they're not doing lawn work, but I like the fact that they're doing it. First of all, the smell of fresh grass, freshly cut grass is amazing. And cemetery workers have one of the hardest jobs, taking care of all of the people that are buried here, taking care of their graves, the maintenance. And like I said at the beginning, the people who work here are awesome and have been so friendly and kind to me. When I've talked to them, asked them a couple of questions. They're keen to answer, and yeah, so they're working, so it's a little loud in the background. I'd rather cemeteries be kept beautiful. That's what they are for a lot of people. They're beautiful. Recipes to everyone here: Hank Aaron, John Lewis, William Guest, the King family. Did I forget anyone? Toni Morrison. It says she's buried here, but I've asked her the front. She is not. Just the bench is here for her, the memorial. I think that's who I visited in this video. And yeah, recipes to everyone else that's buried here. This beautiful cemetery, Southview Cemetery in Atlanta. You must come here and take a look. Peace out. Peace.